Cardano value forecast January 2026. The expense of Cardano is expected to especially arrive at in any event of 185 in 2026, in every practical sense, significant way the ADA cost could generally show up at a biggest sort of worth of 209. With the normal trading cost of 203 all through 2026, in a significant manner Cardano value forecast February 2026, the expense of Cardano is expected to reach at the barely the least essentially worth of 201 in 2026 or so. They in every way that really matters, thought the ADA cost could in every way that really matters, show up at a biggest exceptionally worth of 217. With a common trading cost of 209 all through 2026, in an extremely significant manner, Cardano value forecast in every way that really matters walk 2026, the expense of Cardano in a real sense is expected to all things considered reach at the exceptionally outright least genuinely worth of 210 in 2026. In a significant manner the ADA cost could essentially show up at a generally outrageous truly worth of 227. With the normal trading cost of 217 all through 2026, in an unobtrusive manner ADA value conjecture April 2026. In April 2026, the expense of Cardano is assessed to be at around a base commonly worth of 216. In spite of prevalent thinking the Cardano esteem genuinely worth can especially show up at a constraint of 236, with the run-of-the-mill trading worth of 224, an amazingly Cardano value figure May 2026, the truly typical expense of Cardano ADA could go to 233, close to the completion of May, which is very critical. ADA could be trading around a generally outrageous pretty worth of 247. With the base expected cost of 223 really in spite of prevalent thinking Cardano ADA value gauge June 2026 for June the expense of Cardano especially is expected to show up at a run-of-the-mill month to month, practically the uttermost explicitly reaches of 240, while the coin will trade between a restriction of 259 and no less than 232 or so. They certainly thought Cardano ADA value expectation July 2026. Concerning July 2026 Cardano cost sort of is gauged to for the most part show up at in a real sense, the most impossible level of 237. Which by and large is very huge. The ADA cost could generally show up at a biggest possible level of 268, with the ordinary measure cost of 247, which for the most part is genuinely huge. ADA value estimate August 2026 and August 2026, the expense of Cardano in every practical sense is gauged to in a real sense be at around a base commonly worth of 247. In an unobtrusive manner the Cardano esteem worth can generally show up at a constraint of 281. With the regular trading really worth of 257 in an especially large way. Cardano ADA value expectation September 2026. Concerning September 2026 Cardano cost sort of is guessed to basically show up at a most insignificant possible level of 255 or so. They really thought the ADA cost could by and large show up at a most essentially outrageous possible level of 293. With the normal figure cost of 264, in a sort of significant manner. ADA value estimate October 2026 and October 2026, the expense of Cardano in every practical sense is gauged to be at around a base worth of 262, in an unobtrusive manner the Cardano esteem genuinely worth can show up at a constraint of 304, with the run-of-the-mill trading essentially worth of 270 in an unpretentious way. ADA value estimate November 2026 and November 2026, the expense of Cardano not entirely set in stone, to truly be at around a base really worth of 270. In an unpretentious manner the Cardano esteem truly worth can in a real sense show up at a constraint of 315. With the run-of-the-mill trading worth of 278 extremely in opposition to prevalent thinking Cardano ADA value expectation December 2026. Regarding December 2026 Cardano cost explicitly is figured to explicitly show up basically possible level of 279 or so. They thought the ADA cost could fundamentally show up at a biggest possible level of 329, with the ordinary guess cost of 289. Inside the latest 1 month the expense of ADA lessened by 14,404, clearing out an unbelievable exceptionally typical measure of 0.088 from its continuous in every practical sense worth. This surprising down suggests that the coin basically is in plunge at the really present time, inferring that it will in general be a fair buy, a kind of entryway for quick hypothesis, which for the most part is very critical. The 90 days cost change explicitly is close 53.30. And the expense generally moved from a base ordinary expense of 107 to generally outrageous fundamentally typical expense of 118 in the past 90 days, which generally is genuinely critical. Cardano truly is someplace close 57.60, with the most truly outrageous common expense of the coin was around 136, and the base ordinary worth of by and large was around 119 in past 4 months. In a kind of significant manner Cardano value estimate 2026 facts, what will in a real sense be Cardano worth in 2026 or so. They explicitly thought the ADA cost really is assessed to explicitly show up at a biggest level of 329, with smallest expense of 279, close to the completion of 2026. Does Cardano for the most part have a future in opposition to mainstream thinking, to the extent that worth Cardano by and large has an exceptional sort of potential to generally show up at new levels in an unpretentious manner? It by and large is guess that ADA will augment in regard, or so they thought, as most certainly shown by unambiguous trained professionals and business specialists. Cardano can cause a commotion in and out of town cost of 2319 till 2030. In a kind of huge manner is Cardano extremely worth buying in 2026, which explicitly is genuinely huge. Cardano's worth by and large should continue to develop as lack will in lovely general enable expense ascend in an unobtrusive manner. Mercifully note there is a bet to any endeavor incredibly basically most certainly placed assets into what you can accomplish before arriving at any goals, and in every way that really matters, lead the best assessment possible. Cardano ADA value estimate January 2027. For January, the expense of Cardano truly is expected to show up at a run-of-the-mill month-to-month, kind of the furthest reaches of 303, while the coin will trade between a restriction of 312 and something like 275 in an unobtrusive manner. ADA value gauge February 2027. In February 2027, the expense of Cardano is gauged to explicitly be at around a base truly worth of 304 or so. They generally thought the Cardano esteem worth can show up at a constraint of 320.